Okay, so are you guys able to see my screen now?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, great. So continuing with the yesterday's class, we have covered the fundamentals of Chef, and then we have covered how to bootstrap. Okay, just give me a second also. Can I do it here? Okay. All right, so we have already seen how what are the main individual, the main building blocks of Chef. Things like what is a node, what is a resource, what is a recipe. We have seen a couple of them. We have gone through the definition. We have seen the use case, what and when exactly we use Chef. What is the main purpose of Chef? What exactly we mean by configuration management, right? And then we saw how we install the Chef server, then how we configure the workstation, the importance of .chef folder, knife.rb file, how do we download and configure the starter kit. And then finally, we saw how we bootstrap a node, right? How we make the nodes communicate with the server. So continuing with that, now we are assuming that we have a node which is configured, which is bootstrap. We have a Chef server and a Chef workstation to work upon, and the node is already, you know, bootstrap with the Chef server. So what we are going to do today is we are going to write a couple of resources and recipes. We'll see how exactly we work with them, right? We will see those things in action, right? So, and the objective is that after completing this lesson, you will be able to describe in detail what is a cookbook and how we create a cookbook, what is a recipe, and how do we use multiple resources like package, service, cookbook underscore file, and some other recipe resources. We'll see. We'll see how we upload a cookbook. We will see what exactly is a run list, right? And how do we set it for a node, right? And we will run these things. We'll implement some policies onto the nodes, and we'll see how Chef makes changes to these nodes as per the desired state configuration. So starting with a cookbook, cookbook is like a package for Chef recipes. So in programming world, if you are aware, what happens is you have a Java and .NET programming. If you are aware, there will be programming codes. The code bases will be there, and there will be packages built, right? For example, you have an exe package for Windows, RPM package for Linux, and all these things are there, right? So package contains the actual codes, the binary files, along with a lot of supporting files. There will be a number of supporting files which will be there part of the package. Similarly, in a chef cookbook, you have the recipes. There will be a collection of recipes. Along with the recipes, we'll have supporting files like it can be text file or some other types of files. There can be multimedia files. Along with that, there will be some templates, some libraries, definitions, and a lot of other things. Whatever is required to make that package a cookbook running properly, running efficiently, will be inside that cookbook folder. A typical example I can show you in my on my laptop itself. I have a Chef repo configured, and if I come to Chef repo, and if I go inside cookbooks, as you can see here, I have a number of cookbooks. Let's say, take an example of any one cookbook. Say, let's go to F5 PIP. As you can see here, I have a number of supporting files inside a cookbook. Okay, and this is the folder which contains all the recipes. Okay, by default, every cookbook, when you create a new cookbook, it will have a default recipe, just like this. Okay, every cookbook will have it by default. This will be the first recipe already there when you create a cookbook, right? With the help of knife command. All other recipes you create as per your requirement. Whenever you need it, you will create it. One important thing inside the cookbook is every cookbook will contain a recipe by default compulsorily. and it will have this metadata.rb file. If I come over here and if I show you what exactly it contains, it has got the information about you and whatever you have mentioned. This particular cookbook is from the company called Target. Okay, they had created this cookbook and which we are using for our purposes for integration with Chef, and a couple of other details it will give you about this cookbook, where you can find it on GitHub. It is giving you the information. The two most important information or the two most important things which are there inside a metadata.rb file is the last two lines. With the help of metadata.rb file, you actually version your recipe. Okay. So what happens is your cookbook, once you say you have a cookbook already in place, and you make some changes to that cookbook, right? And then you want to have a version called, say, for example, from 1.0, you want to make it 1.1, or say 2.0 or 3.0. You make those changes over here and save it and then upload it, right? We'll see that process, but important point to remember is that with the help of metadata.rb file, you do the versioning of cookbooks, right? The second thing is the depends line. As you can see here, what happens is the situation when you have cookbook dependency. Say, for example, one cookbook will not work if the other cookbook is not present. Okay. In those scenarios, you have to define inside the metadata.rb file that, say, for example, this cookbook depends on chef word, right? So this cookbook will not work. This F5 cookbook, which we have opened metadata.rb file for. This F5 IP will not work unless on your server and on your node you have this chef vault running. So by default, when you run this cookbook, when you run this on a particular node, this cookbook chef vault will also be downloaded as part of the convergence. Well, we'll see what convergence is in one of the future lessons. But for now, convergence is the process when chef actually implements those changes as per the policy onto the nodes. So metadata is one of the important files inside the cookbook, and recipe is the folder which contains all the recipes. And each cookbook will have a default .rb recipe, which will be created by default. You can make changes to it, and you can use it as per your requirement. Right. So today's situation, what we have is that we need a web server configured to serve up our homepage, and we should be able to see the homepage in a web browser. Right. So the steps which we are going to essentially do is which we will be accomplishing with the help of Chef is that we will be installing Apache on a single node. Then we will start the service and we will make sure that it will start when the machine boots. Okay. And we will write out the home page. So what exactly happens? What exactly is needed? I will show you here. First thing is install Apache. So if you are on a Linux node, say you don't have Chef at your disposal, you are doing things manually. So first you will go onto the node and you will do a yum install Apache, which is HTTPD, the name of the package inside CentOS, right? In case if it is Ubuntu, then you will do this apt-get install HTTPD, right? This is step one. Sorry, this is step one. Then you would do step two. If you see here, start the service and make sure it will start when the machine boots. So first command for to starting the services, service HTTPD start, right? Second step, it is telling that it should start when the machine boots. So in Linux world, you do that with the help of check config command. If you do a check config HTTPD on, what it will do, it will make sure that whenever you restart your machine, the service will also be started automatically. Okay, that's all it means. Okay, if you don't give this command, what will happen? Suppose you have restarted the machine, you have the service running. Okay, the service is running because you have started it. You reboot the machine, the service will not start. You have to go ahead and run this command. Instead of doing that and making sure that every time the machine comes up, service is also running, you put this command at this one at the runtime. So what will happen? It will make sure that the service is started when the machine is restarted or booted off and on. So this is the second thing. Third thing is write out the home page. So in typically when you have Apache,
Uh, sorry, Sharif.
yeah.
One question. Is the cookbooks will be independent of the project, or we can
Um,
use in any project
what
once you
do you
have any
mean by
project?
project? First, tell me.
Means the box. Like for example, GitLab, I have used different boxes now.
Hmm.
For
So cookbooks are
example,
flexible enough. What will happen? You will have a cookbook for each task. Okay. So for example, in
okay,
this one which we will be creating, this is to configure, install Apache and configure a web server, right? So any
okay,
machine where you want to install and configure a web server, you will run this cookbook. Okay. Say you will have a cookbook for some networking configuration. So wherever you want to have those networking configurations take place, you will run those cookbooks against those nodes like that.
okay.
So one
So it
project
doesn't
can contain multiple cookbook and one cookbook can be a part of multiple projects. It all depends on your requirements,
requirements. Okay, that's fine.
right? What typically you do, I think did I tell you in the last session? Yeah, it actually maps one to a piece of software or functionality. So what typically happens is you have a requirement. If you see here, you want a web server to be configured. That's your requirement. For that, you're writing a cookbook, right? Say, for example, you have this particular cookbook is we are writing for Apache installation, right? We might have a requirement where we want Apache configurations to be altered, to be manipulated, right? We will write another cookbook for that particular scenario. So depending on our need, we might have both those cookbooks part of the single run list for a particular node, right? It's all mix and match. It's not that like one cookbook, one project will have only one cookbook. It can have as many as needed. And similarly, one cookbook can be part of so many projects and requirements, right?
Got it. Got
So,
it. Thank you.
yeah. So, yeah, the third thing is we need to write out the home page. So, home page, what happens is typically in Apache, when you write a home page, you have something called var HTML uh, index.html. This is the landing page when you're installing Apache and configuring Apache. So whatever is there inside this one, when you go to the web page, it will show this one. So you need to write something on this particular page, right? So these are three tasks which we are going to
Uh,
perform.
uh, Sorry, Sharik.
Yeah.
I mean, on this particular project, we are only doing one page, which is the home page, right?
Yes,
So how
absolutely.
about if you wanted to display like service page and contact us page, like different pages? Do you have to do them like consequently put them as code like you do for homepage or?
Exactly. That's what you need to do. That is part of kind of a where you have an option of deploying codes through Chef, right? In those scenarios, what will happen? You have to write each and every page. See, in Chef, initially you have to work a lot when the Chef is being implemented for a company or for a particular project. You need to write everything. Say, for example, you want to have two folders, and inside those two folders, you want to have a couple of files. So Chef will take care of only those files and folders, whatever you have mentioned, whatever you have put inside the code. It will not check other things. Okay, I'll show you with the help of an example. Once we are going through this, once we configure the Chef server, I'm sorry, the Apache server, I'll show you a couple of examples which will make it clear for you. Okay, so yeah, moving on. What we need to do now, we have these three steps to be taken care. What we will do, we will do these things with Chef or with the help of Chef, not directly, right? So first step is to create a cookbook. So we are doing this, create cookbook, create my cookbook, create Apache. So we'll go to this. Let me meanwhile start on the machine also. We will use the same machine for what we have used for GitLab. I think some problem it is giving us.
Yeah, this error is quite common. I'm getting every time the same thing.
That's what happens. Actually, machines get corrupt very quickly.
Yeah,
That's a problem, man.
to do the vagrant reload.
That's true. Let's see if it works. And we'll bring this machine up as well. We'll use this machine as our node. We'll make the changes on this particular machine. I hope this is working. So while that is happening, we'll just continue with the slide. So
So,
what you do is, yeah.
for example, if you are doing this in an organization, you won't do it on a virtual box, will you? Like for example, you want to do it on a computer, which is a web server located in a building. How do you reach that web server? How do you upload your cookbook on there?
No, most of the web servers nowadays are actually virtual machines, right? And when
Really?
yes, it will be most of the times. That is the most common scenario. Nowadays, you don't have
Wow.
physical machines. See, when I say virtual machines, I'm typically talking about either VMware machines or Hyper-V machines. It can be AWS instances. Any of these does not make a difference. From Chef perspective, it will remain the same because each machine will have a unique IP address, right? It will have each unique host name, right? And
Yeah.
most important concept is you need to bootstrap those nodes on your Chef. This one.
On your Chef workstation or Chef server.
Yes, Chef once you, and it should be visible over here. What we are doing now, we'll go to this one. API. All right. Once you bootstrap the node, it should be visible over here. If it is visible, then it should be working fine. Okay, we have GitLab 2, not GitLab 1. So we'll see. Let's see. Already there. So, and we already have a couple of, okay, Apache is already there actually. So what we will do, we'll use some other name. Let's see if it is working fine. Okay. Problem is our workstation is giving problem. Okay. This cookbook is already uploaded. Let me see if I can do that on. See, uploading part is not exactly very difficult. I'll just take you through the steps and we should be fine. We already have one of the sample cookbook uploaded, so we should be able to go ahead with the demo portion. Let me just bring that GitLab 2 up for you. So these steps we will be running on our workstation. We need to do a knife cookbook create Apache. This is the cookbook name which you will be giving. Once you do that, it will actually create a cookbook for you with all the folder structure which we saw on my laptop. I showed you, right? This is structure. It will not have these many files, attribute definition file. These are like over the time it has been created. But mandatorily, it will have this recipes folder and this metadata.rb file. Right? These two are the mandatory files which you will have for your cookbook when you create a new cookbook, right? So what you need to do is you need to create cookbook as a knife cookbook, create Apache. It will create the cookbook for you with that folder structure. Then you go inside the cookbook and you open the default.rb file. How do you open that? You just need to go inside and do a VI. If you do a VI or a cat in Linux, you need to run this command. I'll just show you. So you go inside VI. Suppose you have chef repo is the folder, right? So chef repo, inside chef repo, you have cookbooks. The name you have here for the cookbook is Apache, that will be listed over there. And inside Apache, you go inside recipes, default.rb. This file. So VI is your local editor on Linux. You will be able to edit. If you do this, it will show an editor for you. It will actually help you edit that file. Once you go inside the file, okay, it's coming. Once you go inside the file, you need to edit it as per this option. So if you remember, we had these three options, right? Okay, we'll take about that later. Let's first understand what exactly are the chef resources. Okay, so this is a typical recipe which is shown over here on your screen. Okay, it has got a number of things. Let's understand how it works in chef. Okay, so it has got a type, and in our case we have package, we have template, we have services. These are the three resources in chef which we are using. Okay, so package resource is used to install, uninstall a package. If you want to upgrade a package, a software which you want to install and uninstall on your machine, you use a package resource. Template resource is for if you want to create a file on your node on which you're running this particular recipe. Okay, so and service is to manipulate services. Suppose you want to start a service, stop a service, restart a service. If you want to do any such thing, then you use service resource. Okay, it has got a name. So as you can see, as per the syntax, after the type, you mention package, then you space, and then within double quotes you mention the name of the resource as per the requirement. Okay, so as you can see, package name is also HA proxy, service name is also HA proxy, template is along with the location. So this location is where your file will be saved on the node on which you are running. Okay, and it will have parameters, as you can see. So for example, in here we are using a template resource to create a file, right? This is a CJ file created on the node. So what will happen? You need to give certain permissions. If you are aware, any file will have a owner, it will have a group, and it will have certain permissions, right? So that is what we are defining. Source, you just keep it for the time being. I'll let you know what exactly source is. We are going to cover it later on, just in a bit. Okay, then it will be clear for you guys. Every resource has an action, not one action, but multiple actions. And depending on our requirement, we will use the action. In this case, we are using action : install. The second one has got action enable and start, right? So enable is same as this check config, right? We enable this service with the help of this command. Same thing we are doing here, action : enable, right? And we are also doing action, it has to be started. So since on a single service, we need two actions. So we can do this action start also. Or what we can do, we can use it like this, comma, and action start and close, right? As you can see, this can be done. So this is one of the actions. Similarly, for installing, we are using action : install. We can also use, instead of action, suppose we want to uninstall. So I think for this, the name is remove. If you want to upgrade, we could have given upgrade like that. Now, where do you find this information? How to find how many, what is the purpose of the package and what exactly it does, all those things. On your Chef page, you need to go to chef.io, which is the main official page of Chef, and you need to go to resources. Chef.io/resources is the link, which will, okay, not that one. Let me just check. We need to go to, let's go to first. We will go to docs.chef.io. We'll go there. This is the main documentation page for Chef. It has got all the information about the Chef server, Chef workstation, everything you will find over here. Okay. Now we will come over here and let's just see if we have resources listed over here. Tutorials, concepts, we should have, let's see, not here. Do we have it in tutorials? No. Okay, let's search it here.
So, Serik, anything you are doing with Chef, you got to implement it on this Chef Java, yeah?
Yes,
Like
the
all
process how it
cookbooks.
happens is I'll let me show you a figure to you guys, a picture to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. How it happens is it, let me see, this is the diagram. Yes, this is the diagram. So what happens is if you see on over here, this is your local workstation. You have your workstation configured with the help of knife command, right? And you are working on this workstation. Okay, you write your recipes, you create cookbooks, you delete cookbooks, all those things you do over here. Okay, once everything is done, you what you do is you upload those cookbooks onto the chef server. How we upload it, I will just see in a bit in one of the slides in the one of the next slides we will have how we upload. It's a simple command, knife upload, knife cookbook upload, and then cookbook name. It will upload the things for you. Okay. Once it is uploaded, you go to the node. Okay. You go to the node and you run chef client. Let's wait for it. Just wait for a little bit. We have it in immediately. We'll be covering it, so it will make it clear for you guys. Now we have got this page. So resources references chef docs.chef.io/resources is the page where you need to come. Okay, so let's open this page. So this is the main page where you have all the information about the resources. Okay. And if I come over here, it has the information about all the resources. This is the main page. Okay. What you can do, say for example, we are checking about the package resource, right? We are working in this file with the package resource, and we want to see what other actions it supports apart from install. This is the one which we saw in the slideshow, and we want to check what other options we have apart from install, right? So we come over here, and if you see, if you scroll down, LMNOP. If I come over here, you have this package list. So all these are different types of resources. Okay, we are currently working with package resource, so let's click on that. It will expand the package resource documentation for us. It will have all the details about the package resource. Now this is the main page for package resource. Example is given, package HTTP. This is how we use it. If you scroll further down, you will have a number of examples how to use a package resource. All right, these are some of the examples, right? If I come over here, so let's see here. See package. How do you install multiple packages with the same this one? So instead of one package, you can put a square brackets and put those two package names over here. You can upgrade those package, remove those package, purge, nothing. Where are the actions? It should be somewhere at the start, properties, actions, as you can see here. All these actions are supported, right? So you can install it, you can do nothing, you can purge it, you can reconfigure, you can remove, you can update. So this is how you explore your package and your capability about what exactly you can do with the servers, right? Say, and this is the main page which you will be coming every single day when you're working with Chef, because this is kind of Bible for you guys. Okay. Say you want to check what are the things you can do with a user. You want to create a user. Say you have a requirement and you have 10 users to be created on 10 different nodes. I mean, a single user to be created on 10 different nodes, right? So instead of going to each and every node, you write a recipe for that, and you run that recipe on each of the nodes, right? So for a user, this is how you use it. So user, the name of the user will be given over here, and do is the command. Then you comment for that user, UID, GID for that user, where will be the home folder, what will be the shell, and what will be the password. This is how you define it for a single user. This is how you will write a recipe, and you will run on the nodes. And for the user resource, these are the actions. If you see here, you can create a user, you can lock a user, you can manage a user, you can modify, you can do nothing, you can remove, and you can unlock. So these many actions you have, which you can take on a particular user, right? So if I want to give an example, say you want to unlock a user. So what you will do, you will write your recipe something like this: user, uh, the name of the user, do action colon unlock end. Okay, this will unlock the user. If you run this recipe onto a node, this will unlock this particular user, whatever name you have given over here, my username. All right, like this.
How you validate the recipe, and otherwise you want to test it or something?
For that, we have test kitchen. That is one thing, but that is for the complex recipes, and that is something that completely different topic, which we are not going to cover. But for normal things, you don't need to test it at all. I mean, this basic recipes, you don't need to test it. Once you start writing complex cookbooks, then you have something called test kitchen, right? I can provide you a document which talks about how to work with test kitchen, and it will be fine for you. I mean, typically what happens is test kitchen, actually you need to create your environment for yourself, and your project, suppose you have 3-4 different chef developers who are working together. So you will create an environment. So every time you want to test, what will happen is test kitchen will create a machine for you. It will run the things on the node. It will give the output, and it will give you a report how it is working, whether the test was successful or not. Apart from that, for normal purposes, you just do what typically, say for example, what I do. We have 3-4 different machines.
Voice is breaking.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was telling is, for testing purpose, test kitchen is a little bit complicated to understand and to use. For simple usage, what you do is you have three multiple machines for test machines. You see, right? Say for example, I will have Linux 5.6.7 for me. Each version of Linux I will have. I will have Windows 2008, Windows 2012, and 2016. So whatever is my target server, accordingly, I will write recipe and test on my local test machine. That's typically how it happens. And once I see that, okay, it is giving me the desired result, then I will run it on my production machines.
Okay. The normal syntax errors are validating the recipe, even for small commands. It will automate.
Those things when you write the recipes, that then and there, when you're uploading cookbook, that time it will throw you an error. That's something else.
Okay.
Okay. In fact, let me show you that also. No, I can't show you because my workstation is not working. But typically, that's what happens when you have a recipe. You have some kind of syntax error while uploading the cookbook. Say, I mean, actually, we are getting ahead of ourselves. See, in some of the future slides, we have this. You just need to do. Let me show you over here. Okay, see, this is where it is happening. We have where it go? Yeah, so we are writing. This is our case scenario. What we are doing here, we have a package HTTPD which needs to be installed. /install. Then we have again, it's showing the same thing. It's a package resource. HTTPD is the name, and action is the install action, right? So what happens if you see here, resources are declarative. That means we say what we want to have happen rather than how. Now, what exactly we mean by that? This provider concept is very important in Chef. Let me make that clear for you guys. See, I gave an example here, right? That your actual steps is yum install and apt-get install. If it is sent to us, right? And apt-get if it is Ubuntu. Now, this, I think I wrote a recipe, right? Let me just give it to you once again. We have package HTTPD to action install is correct. And so this package and this particular recipe holds true for both of them. Okay, you run the same recipe on a CentOS node, it will understand that it has to run yum install. It has to run the yum command. Chef is smart enough to understand. If you run the same recipe on a Ubuntu machine, it is smart enough to know that it has to use the apt-get command. In this case, what happens? Because what you are telling in your recipe, you are telling Chef what to do, right? You're telling you want package HTTPD to be installed on the node. How to do it? You're not telling Chef, right? You're just telling it has to be installed. This is what we mean by the first line, that resources are declarative. We don't tell them how to do it. We just tell them what needs to be done. Those actions actually get translated with the help of providers, and providers perform the how. Okay, so providers in this case for CentOS provider is yum, for Ubuntu provider is apt-get. Now, how Chef understands which provider to be used, right? Chef understands that platform. This is the keyword here. It understands with the help of platform. It first checks, okay, that which platform this node is, and based on the platform, it will see that okay, if I'm running this one, it will have something called platform equal to CentOS run yum. Platform equal to Ubuntu, then run apt-get. This is how actually at the back end the translation happens. But you need not worry about these things, right? You don't bother whether it is a CentOS or Ubuntu. You just write this command, right? Because this command holds true for both of them. Yeah, if it is a Windows machine, then of course this is not going to work. Then what you need to do, you need to do a Windows underscore package. This is a resource. And once again, if I come over here and if I scroll down, yeah, just next to you this Windows underscore package. So it's very similar to the package resource. Only thing is it is used for a Windows machine, not a Linux machine. Okay, and once again, it will have a number of actions. If you see here, install, nothing, and remove. So basically, what it is doing is installing and uninstalling. There is no upgrade option in Windows package, right? But which is kind of sufficient for most of our scenarios. You don't even worry about that part. Okay, so this is how it happens. Platform part we will see in one of the next videos, probably tomorrow or a day after, whenever we are covering that part. We have something called OHI, which we will be covering. We'll see how exactly it works. Okay, so then we will see how exactly it get translated, how platform is covered, and all those things. Important thing is the resources are declarative. It tells you what needs to be done, not how, and providers take care of the how. Right. So this is one of the examples given. You write package git, and at the back end, it translates as per your platform. It becomes yum install git or apt-get or pacman or pkg, depending on which operating system you're using. Right. So we will write that full recipe here. And once again, the second part which we are doing is service name is HTTPD and two actions. It is enabling and it is starting. Okay. And important thing is resources are executed in order. So over here, if you see, package is the first resource, template is the second resource, and service is the third resource. So when Chef execution happens, this order is important. It will execute in this order only. It will not change the order, right? So to give you an understanding, in this example, if you put service above and package below, it might throw you an error, right? Because service you will start only once the package is installed. Right? So that is why the order of the resources matters. Yeah, this is one of the new, one more resources. See, resources are the building blocks of Chef recipes and whatever you're doing in Chef, right? So you need to understand as many resources as you can. So you need to come to this. I will encourage you to come over here and see all those packages, all those resources, okay? In fact, what I'll do, I'll give you a list of resources which you should know, maybe 10 or 12 different resources, okay, which we'll be covering throughout the course, and make sure you go through them at least once. So the next one is cookbook_file. What happens is cookbook_file is used when you actually want to, one single file, and you want that. That is when you use a cookbook_file resource. How it works is, we will see. This is a typical example. We want to have an index.html file on our node where we will be configuring our website, right? So we want to have this index.html configured, and it's mentioned. It says source. Now, for a cookbook_file, the source is again inside the cookbook. So if I show you on my laptop, I think it was there. Yeah, over here. See, inside a cookbook, each cookbook, you have something called files. And you have default folders. In here, whatever files you will have, these you can transfer to. This is the source. So what is happening here? Do I have an Apache? Apache is not there over here. Anyway, so what will happen is, you will have an Apache cookbook. Inside the Apache cookbook, you will have something called a file folder, just like this one. Do we have here? No, not here. Yeah, in here we have a file folder. So inside this file folder, you have this different files. So you can source. So this source actually tells this file name. So you will have inside that Apache folder something called a file with this name, something like index.html. The same name will be here, right? Whatever you are mentioning over there. So this file, it will be there inside this folder, and when you run the cookbook, this file will be copied onto the chef nodes. Okay, this is how it is created, and you are defining that what is the mode of the file. So 0644, this is the permission given on the file. You can actually give more details, like who will be the group owner, who will be the root owner of the file. So depending on your requirements, you can manipulate these permissions on the files. So this is the purpose of cookbook_file. So we have seen package resource, we have seen a service resource, and we are seeing a cookbook_file resource, right? So again, it's a cookbook_file is a resource type. The name is this whole path where the file will be copied with two parameters, source and mode, right? So this is my complete recipe now. And if you see here, the first block installs the package named stdvd. The second block enables and starts the package. And this one copies a file from your server to the node where you are running this location. This is the file inside. This is the content of the index.html. So what you need to do once you have written this recipe, you need to go inside this location, cookbooks, Apache, files, and default. You need to create this file, index.html, right? So the command which you need to use once again is, I think I showed you an example of the vi command. Similarly, yeah, same way. Chef repo, cookbooks, Apache. Instead of recipes, we'll go files, default. Default will be a folder this time, and index.html. If you do this, it will open a VI editor with this file name, and you need to put this content inside that file. I mean, you can put anything, whatever is your requirement. In our case, we are just creating a very basic web server with Apache. Apache is configured with a very basic index page. So this is the content which we will be putting inside that file. So once all these things are done, we have our recipe ready. Now what we will do is we will upload this cookbook. All this while we have been writing this cookbook on our workstation. From the workstation, we need to upload the cookbook. If you remember this diagram which I showed you, see, we make the changes on our workstation, then we upload the cookbook to the chef server. Okay, so this is the second step which we are following here. So once you upload the cookbook, what will happen? I think I showed you yesterday as well that the cookbook will be available on your chef server. So if you see here, we already have this Apache cookbook. Let me see if it's the same content. Apache, you can come in the content folder, content section, and it will show you all the files which are present once you upload it. So we have a recipes folder. Inside that recipes folder, we have server.rb. Okay. Actually, this should be, I was showing a demo. It should be default.rb. This will not work on the machine. For you an error. Okay. I'm sorry, guys, I'm not able to show you the demo part because the workstation I need to fix. I'll do it after class. Probably tomorrow should be working fine. So I have this recipe already there on the uploaded on the system. And if I come to the files section, this index.html file is also present, as you can see, already there with the content. Right. So what I have done, I have written this file locally on the chef workstation. Then I have then used this command: knife cookbook upload Apache. And this is the output you get once you upload the cookbook. And you should be able to see that on your chef. Right. Once that is done, what you need to do, now we run this. Now, I think we have two things: recipes and roles. Roles we'll see later. For the time being, you can skip this part. Recipes we have already seen, right? We have seen these recipes. Now, run list is basically a list of recipes. If you want to run 2 or 3 recipes on a single one, you define that in that list. Where we have the run list, each node will have a run list. I will show you where. Just give me a moment. So, I think we can use this one instead of the other one. So what we will do, GitLab 2 is, I think, is up and running, I guess. Here. So let's do a vagrant SSH. I hope I should be able to show you something. Okay, and meanwhile, run list, how you edit is over here. You go to nodes, GitLab 2. This is the node which we have currently registered with the chef server. And go to edit run list. Once you click on this, it will show you all the available cookbooks over here. Okay, and whichever you want to put, you just need to drag over here. Like, so what we will do, we'll use this Apache test instead of Apache. Okay, so Apache test we put over here, and then we click on save run list. All right, once you do that, if you do a refresh, if you come over here, you see over here run list, and it is showing Apache test. This is how you change and edit the run list on your GUI. Same thing you can do with the help of knife command on the workstation, which unfortunately I can't show you now, but we can see the screenshot on the slideshow, and this is how you do it. So knife node run underscore list add. You'll get the node name. So node 1 we have, in our case, we would have given GitLab 2. Okay, so GitLab 2 instead of node 1, and recipe colon Apache test we will give. Same format. So node 1 will be replaced by GitLab 2, and Apache will be replaced by Apache test, which is our recipe name. Right. So that is how you edit the run list, which you may want. Once this is done, you just need to go to the machine, wherever your machine is. So in our case, it's over here. GitLab 2, we are inside the machine now. And you need to run the sudo chef client. Let's see what changes we get. machines and too many things are happening. Okay. Gradually you will understand where to report. Right. Any new tool when you're learning Chef and Puppet and research tool, you have a lot of new concepts to cover. That is why it might initially look a little complicated. So as you can see, once you run the sudo chef client, it actually shows you a couple of things on the screen. It tells you that chef client is starting with version, and it resolves the cookbooks or the run list. So in our case, we only have one single run list. All right.
We install this root directory.
Which one? Sorry.
Sharik, do we have to install this in a root directory?
Which one? Hello?
Workstation? And
no, we are not on the workstation. We are currently on the node.
this package?
No, we are currently on the node, Vasu. We are not on the workstation.
No. Sharik, I think Vasu is asking about installing a cookbook, whether in the workstation.
No, you don't install the cookbook on the
Is it correct, Vasu?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. Can you, Nani, can you just?
No, we will. Okay, what I'm asking is whether we are going to create our cookbook in the workstation. Means writing.
Workstation.
Yes, we will create
cookbook. Create Apache. We will create the cookbook in the workstation, and we will connect that workstation to the GitLab or whatever it is. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Not the GitLab. See, the process is the flow goes like this. You create everything on your local workstation with the help of knife command, knife cookbook create, right? You give the cookbook name. Then you edit your recipes, right? Whatever changes you want to make, you write all those codes inside the recipes. Once you have made all the changes, everything is done, then you upload the cookbooks. When you give this command, this one, knife cookbook upload Apache, it will upload the cookbook to the chef server over here. Okay. Once that is done, then you need to edit the run list, right? Because each node has got a run list, which of cookbooks it is going to run, which recipes it is going to run on itself, right? So what you need to do is you need to edit the run list. So I showed you two ways to edit the run list. One way is through the GUI. You can come over here. You can click on edit run list, and then you can make the changes over here. You just need to drag and drop. Once you upload a cookbook, it will show over here. Okay, all the available recipes. You just need to drag and drop, and you can put multiple recipes as part of your run list, right? We don't need that. We already have Apache test there, which should be running. We have all this. We can cancel it. The other way, the same thing when you want to do. The other way of doing this will be your let it go through the command line. So this again, see, knife command you will be running. Let me tell you. Let me clarify this to you. It comes a little bit confusing for you. Knife command, okay, always be on the workstation. Chef server CTL, any command which is starting with this one, always on chef server. Sudo chef client, always on the chef nodes. Does that clarify?
Yes, fine. Yeah.
Right. So this you should remember.
So basically, you write your. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
You write your cookbook and everything on your workstation,
yes,
and then with the use of upload command, you command it to be uploaded on the chef server, right. And then you go to the nodes and download that from the chef server by running that command you just run now.
Yes,
like
you don't need to download manually. You don't need to do anything.
You just client.
sudo chef client. That's all you need to do. Okay. So I'll explain.
Yeah, that's what I meant by downloading. So
okay, okay. No problem. So let me see if it is. It's actually taking a lot of time. Oh, okay, it has completed. Actually. The screen was not refreshing.
well, we have been once saying.
Yeah. So
you told us it's not
Coming
easy,
down.
it's complicated. So
no problem. See, initially it is complicated. First time everybody gets confused. Not to worry. So that's why this you just keep this thing.
it's sinking in.
See, this one is very, very important. This will clarify all your doubts. Any knife command you are running on the chef server, you are running on and chef client command with sudo, obviously, you are running on your chef nodes. Okay, this will clarify all your doubts. So coming back here, see, this is what I have run over here. Now, see, it shows you all these things. It is compiling the cookbooks. It is synchronizing cookbooks. What does it mean by synchronizing cookbooks? In this example, I already have Apache test run on this machine, right? So next time, say again, I go to my workstation and I make some changes. So the process is, once again, whatever changes you have made, after that, you save those changes. And then once again, you upload the cookbook. Same process again. I cookbook upload Apache test. So that will make the changes on the machine. So when you run this command, chef client, when it synchronizes, it is actually checking the last time when the copy which is it has got has there been any changes? If there is any changes, it will download those changes onto itself. Then it is converging three resources, right? So if you remember, we have given three resources: package. If I go back to the slide, and if I see package resource, service resource, cookbook file resource. So it is converging three resources. Again, it will start in the same order. So it will start one by one. So yum underscore package. You see here, we did not tell which command to use. Chef understands itself. So the moment it saw it has to be installed, it understood that it has to be installed through yum package because this is a CentOS machine. Now, since the yum package, HTTPD on this machine is already installed, so it did not do anything. It simply told you it is up to date. Okay. Then it is telling you the cookbook file option. Okay. This file we have to be created. So what is done? It has uploaded the content. And what actually it has done here, that index.html file was already there. It was present on that location. But on our recipe, the content was different. So what it has done is changed the content. And it is actually very much like a git. When you do a git diff, this is the command it shows you. So what it has happened is, it has removed this file which was already present, and it has put these commands over here, right? So now, and after that is done, it is the service command. So what has happened? Service is enabled, start. It has not done anything because it is already up to date. Okay. So now, in order to see what are the changes it has done, we have two options. We can use go to a browser and do this. But since I don't have browser on this machine, we can use the help of curl command. We'll do curl localhost, and we will see the content. Right. So this is how you make the changes on a machine, on a node. So what we did with the help of chef, we installed the package, we started and enabled the service, and we updated it. Right. So this is the only difference. We can go to a browser and see this, but since in our case we don't have a browser, so what we have done is we have just same thing we are able to see with the help of this curl command. Right, we can see this command. So, and I think I already showed you how exactly happens, that the run list expands and how exactly we do the same things, right? Chef client and run list, and it expanded the run list. All those things it is showing over here. It gives you the console output. It gives you all these things, right? So you can read it and understand a lot of things. By any chance, if for any reason, if the chef client run fails, then also it will show you on a screen. So it will be in white or yellow if it is just showing the output. it will be green if it is making any changes. If there has been any action taken, it will be in green. If there is any error message, of course, it will be in red. Right? So this is typically how it happens, and it will make all the changes, and it will tell you, right? If you see here converging 3, so same thing, it's showing over here again. So what we have just gone through, right? So yes, the important concept of is idempotent. This is one important concept which we need to cover. If you see here, in this example, yum underscore package it was running, it saw that HTTP is already installed. So it did not do anything. It simply told you that up to date. Similarly, service was already enabled. So it told up to date. It was already started. So it told up to date. Only changes it made where it was needed. The file was present, but the content was different. So it made the changes to the file content. This property of chef is known as idempotence. Okay. What happens is it does not make changes where the changes are not required, right? And the other thing is, chef is a desired state configuration, and if resource is already configured, no action is taken. This is called convergence. So this is step when it is actually making the changes or checking if the concept, if the if everything is up to date or not. This particular step, right from here to here, is known as convergence in chef. All right, these are kind of keywords which you need to keep, which you need to understand from interview perspective. So and then it tells you the output, it tells you what has been done, what has not been done, right? All those things. And at the end, it tells you, see, there were 4 resources and updated 1 out of 4 resources. So we had one package resource, 1 and 2 in total 4 resources or 4 resource actions, out of which only 1 was updated, which was this file content, and it took approximately 54 seconds for chef client run to complete. So it gives you all those messages, all those information. Right. So what will happen if you rerun a chef client? What do you think will happen if you run the we already have this, right? Let's run this chef client once again. Let's see what happens. We have not made any changes to the cookbook. We have not made any changes to the recipe, and the run list is still the same what we ran the last time. So let's see what it does. Yeah, so as expected, it has not made any changes. It ran all those 4 resources, and as you can see, for all of them, it is up to date. So this time, it did not chef client finished. It updated 0 of 4 resources, no updated anything because it is not required, and it took 15 seconds to run. Right? This is how it happens in chef. So, and yes, we had a supporting file as well, which was there. This is the cookbook file, cookbook folder structure. You are inside chef repo. We are inside this cookbooks inside Apache. Then we have recipes and files and metadata and everything, right? And we have this one. Default.rb we had in our recipes folder, and we had index.html inside files default folder. Right, this is what we had. So this is the file structure. This is typical. It is giving you multiple options, like you can have multiple cookbooks. So whenever you need, you can run change the recipes and change the run list, and you can run the content again. Right, and nodes have run lists made of recipes, as we just saw. We saw that in GUI also, right? Each run list, each node will already have a run list, and we can change it like this. And yeah, so that completes our session. After the session, you should be comfortable with these questions. So make sure that you have an understanding of Chef. What I'll do, I'll be sending you this slide again. By tomorrow, I'll send you a video also, the link for the uploading. If needed, you go through the video again. Or maybe you won't get time.
Sharik, please send a recording from your side. Here I can't hear anything. This network speed is very low.
No issues. I'll be sending. I've already sent the first two videos, Chef 1 and Chef 2. Yesterday's video and a day before yesterday's video. This one also I'll send, and I'll also upload the ones which we have covered before, like last week, whatever we have covered. I'll upload one by one, and I'll share all the links with you. Okay. So, and I'll share the slides with you as well. So make sure you are comfortable with these questions. Just go through the slides once again. If needed, you watch this video again. But make sure that you are absolutely comfortable with these questions. What is there on the screen? The last one, right? The last slide. If you have any doubts, we can discuss it in the next class or whenever needed. Okay, so we'll continue with the Chef run tomorrow as well. We'll see a couple of more things. We'll say how Chef client run happens. We'll see a couple of more, the capabilities of Chef, and we'll continue our Chef journey, right? And probably even during the next week, I think the whole week will be covering Chef. So we'll get this time. So after tomorrow's class, we'll have series tomorrow. So make sure you watch all the videos that you see on the website. I'll give you some tips and videos and then we will discuss those things on Monday. So anything else, guys, before we wind up? If you have any doubts, any questions?
Eric, we will try to create a cookbook and a recipe today using the slides. And tomorrow, in case
you continue the same thing. No need to make any changes as of now. You just continue the slide, and whatever is there, you just do the same thing. Just replicate whatever is being shown in the slide. Okay.
Yeah, then we can see.
Then you can write your own recipes and cookbooks.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Just make sure you're able to replicate everything, and you are able to create cookbook. You are able to upload cookbook, and you should be able to run the sudo chef client command as well, right?
Sharik?
Yeah. Hello?
Sharik.
Yeah. So, anything else, please?
No, not really.